Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Welcome to another edition of Messages from the Ancestors. I decided to sit down and record another one of these videos because I really enjoyed doing the last one. It was great to work with the ancestors, and I also received some great feedback from you all, so I really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone who commented and also everyone who sent me a private message. It's really good to know that the messages from the ancestors are very apt and they seem to be fitting into a lot of people's lives at the moment. I know that I'm personally really enjoying connecting with that ancestral energy, whether that be my own ancestry or whether it be the ancestry of the land. Wherever we travel to, we can connect with the ancestors of that land, the people who lived there, who breathed there, who went about their daily lives there, and I find that really exciting and very interesting. So I urge you all to go and do that as well. I know we all spend a lot of time kind of watching readings or recording readings or looking at astrology charts or anything. It's quite screen based, and what we need to be doing is going outside and leaning against the tree for a while, or visiting some ancient sites or an old church and feeling into what life would have been like then, and just opening ourselves to that kind of wonder and that mystery, and also connecting with the ancestors and finding out what wisdom they can bring through for us at this time. As I said last time, they moved through a lot of challenging times on the planet, and we can learn a lot from our ancestry. They are our wise elders that we can turn to. So this week I've decided to work with my rune set. I'm going to pull some runes today. And I made these runes last year from a piece of twisted willow that my dad cut from a tree that he was felling in his old garden. And yeah, it's a beautiful set. It's quite a gentle set, which I like. Although, of course, if any of you know the runes, you'll know that they don't really pull any punches and that they're very, very deep. It's very deep wisdom. So rather than work kind of with particular tribes or clans this week, I'm feeling just an overall collective of earth ancestry, so our human ancestry in general, just feeling to work with the messages that come through from that. So let's pull some runes. Let's start with this one. Okay, so we've got Ewas. This is really interesting, and this is one of my blurry runes. This was a practice set and ended up being my proper set. So, interestingly, we're kind of being urged to move forwards in a different way, is what I'm feeling from this. I feel like they're telling us to kind of move forward in a way that feels right for us, but to find something that helps us to move forwards. So this rune represents the horse and movement, and also cooperation and working together. Because if you think about the relationship between man and horse, many centuries now, thousands of years, the ancestors have ridden horses. Horses have helped them. They've helped them to plough the fields. They've helped them to travel to different places. So I'm getting like a sense of cooperation here as well. So cooperation with spirit, what I'm hearing is like they can carry us forwards when we cooperate with them. Tripping over my words. That we can move forward more quickly if we accept the help that is offered. Now that's an interesting one, because I feel like many of us forget to ask for support and help from whether it be spirit guides, spirit animals, power animals, ancestors, who can also tie in with spirit guides as well. Sometimes we don't ask, and what they're saying is ask for help at this time, because this is in reverse and we are somewhat stalling. Almost, this can be individually, like for any of you watching this, and also as a collective, there's an element of stalling, floundering, and we need to find a way to work more closely with spirit and with ancestors and the land and animals as well. to be able to move forwards more quickly, more swiftly, and with more purpose. So I'm feeling like it's not just about speed and getting there more quickly and getting to the destination. I'm feeling that it's more to do with the joy that we can feel through cooperating with these beings, these energies of the land. We're being invited to work more deeply with those. Another thing that I'm feeling as well, which might be apt for some of you because this relates to the horse, and kind of riding the horse and journeying and moving forwards. With this being in reverse, I'm feeling like it could be a call to journey within. This could be related to shamanic practices. The shaman's drum is known as the shaman's horse. It's how he rides or travels to what he rides upon to go into different realms, or she, sorry. And yeah, so really, if that's something that you're interested in, it may be something to connect in with, particularly the drumming aspect of it and being able to go deeper and see where you can journey to following your own rhythm. That's another message coming through as well. Don't be distracted by other people's rhythms. So the ancestors are saying, like, we need to stop comparing ourselves with other people. Be ourselves, stand in our power. Something that I picked up on before I started this reading actually was the word power. And the ancestors want us to remember the deep power that we have within ourselves. And this isn't power over others or I'm better than you or ego power. This is like that energy, that life force that rises, that we can access and we can use again, use that to ride forwards on or with. So that's a good message there. Quite a few good messages there. Just going to draw another rune. Very interesting, because I was just thinking a lot of what I was talking about there could also relate to Rido, and Rido is about movement. It's about journey. And this is the right way up. This is, it's direct. It is that travel energy. It's that moving through time and space kind of energy. So not only are we being called to journey inwards using Ewa's, the rune of the horse. I'll pick it back up again. I'm going to hold these two together. Let's do it like this. So bringing these two together is really, really interesting because of what I was just talking about with rhythm, with the drum, walking to like the I'm shaking the camera. Walking to the beat of our own drum, finding our own rhythm. Walking at our own pace is another thing that's coming through as well. Rido, I love that these have come out together. It's just amazing. And talking about the drum, the rhythm, the beating out of the heartbeat of the earth, the heartbeat of the ancestors. Like every living person, every person who's ever lived has had a heart, and we can connect in with that heart energy. That's what's coming through as well. But I'm getting physical journeys as well with this. We're being encouraged to adventure. We're being encouraged to get out there and to visit different places, to connect our DNA with certain places. And I was speaking to a friend about this the other day. We were having a conversation about going back to the old places, going to our ancestral homes, going to countries that we feel a strong spiritual kinship with, going to those places, taking our DNA there, connecting with that energy. And then sometimes you might feel, and they're saying this is quite a strong message, that you can collect parts and fragments of your soul from these places that may have been left behind in past lives or through ancestry, energy that was dissipated and needs to be pulled back together. And then I'm hearing the word deposited, which is a strange word, but deposited back into your energy field. And as a deposit, like using that word makes me think of moving forwards with more wealth. That doesn't necessarily mean financial wealth, it can do. But what I'm feeling is it's about moving forwards with more wealth of being, wealth of energy, wealth of power, that inner power that I was talking about. So check in with how you feel about visiting different places that you feel a connection with. There's always going to be a reason why you feel that connection. And they're saying just go with that, go with the flow, go with what calls to you. You want to visit the Standing Stones, do that. That's a personal favourite of mine. If you want to go and visit old churches, if you want to go and visit certain spots in nature that have a particular kind of energy, like certain waterfalls or hills and mountains where ley lines converge, do that travelling. And if you're not able to at the moment, or now's not the right time, start to plan where you would like to go. I feel like it could be such a great use of time and energy at the moment is preparation for these journeys, because these two runes coming out together, like, we're moving, we're shifting, we're moving forwards, outwardly and inwardly. I love that those runes came out together. Okay, so one more. What's this? So we've got answers. Now, answers can represent what it sounds like, actually. Communication, answers, that kind of... I'm getting like wisdom, actually, that wants to come through that we need to listen to. This is on an individual basis, and also as a collective, we need to be listening to the wisdom of the elders. As a human race, we need to be listening to the wisdom of nature. We need to be listening to the old ways, and we need to come back into alignment with that. And that's something I think I spoke about in the last video as well. Now, interestingly, I'm feeling like a storytelling element here as well. Like, I want to say, and the ancestors are also saying, tell your story. If you have a story that you feel to share, but you've been holding back because of insecurity, or it's not been the right time, now is the time to verbalize things more. You also have wisdom to pass on. It's not just taking this wisdom from the ancestors and receiving that and kind of regurgitating. That's the word that just came through. It's also about finding your own wisdom. Like, what have you crystallized into wisdom through the experiences that you've had in your own life? What journeys have you been on already? So we've got, Erwaz and Rido coming through with that journey element. Speak about your journeys as well. If you've been traveling, if you've traveled to these sites, if you've traveled to these places that lit you up, and you've been to your ancestral lands, or you've been anywhere really that's just sparked something in you, share that story. Because I've found that when I share that I'm travelling to different sites, and when I went to Scotland and shared a lot of that journey, that people were inspired to go and do the same thing, in the places that felt right to them. We can inspire many people through our words and through what we share on the internet and also in person. So another message coming through from this rune, this is actually Odin's rune. He's very, very connected to this rune. Odin and his energy, or his form of energy, is calling a lot to people at the moment. Now, you may or may not feel connected to Norse mythology or the Norse gods and goddesses. You may not feel to connect with that very deeply. But Odin really represents that all-father energy that... I'm almost seeing him now as like an all-seeing eye. He has the one eye, but he sees everything. And the ancestors are kind of giving a little bit of a message about bearing witness. So it's an interesting message to come through. Bear witness to your own life, and bear witness to those around you who are living in integrity and they are following their path, and getting like this message to take inspiration from them. Connect with the people who inspire you. Connect with the people whose words inspire you. There's a great deal of messenger energy coming through with this rune. Yeah, there's a certain level of wisdom that we're meant to pass on, And I'm getting this sense like the ancestors are saying they don't care if you if you feel like you're not ready. And that's also a little bit of Odin coming in there, because I've connected with him quite a lot over the past year, and he's not really that bothered about whether I'm anxious about something or worried about something or don't know how it's going to pan out. He wants me to go and do it. And so that energy's coming through now of like, even if you're afraid, just do it anyway. Share the wisdom, share the words. If you do feel a kinship and a connection with Odin, call on him at the moment. Ask him to guide you. He is the wanderer after all. And having all of these kind of journey movement runes, and then having Odin come through here, being the wanderer, he moves around. If you're feeling to travel more, then do it. If you're feeling to visit more of these places, as I said, then do it. Yeah, they're quite strong messages, and we're being called to share that wisdom, seek that wisdom as well, be a wisdom seeker. Seek out the wisdom that speaks to your soul from ancient traditions. There may be things that you're learning about at the moment that you'd never considered before, and new wisdom's coming through, and for me that's always an exciting time, and something that I enjoy doing is learning new things, and we're always learning, so there's always a reason to be excited, really, moving forwards. So I feel like the reading's coming to a close now, and I want to say thank you to all of you for being here. I look forward to reading in the comments if any of this resonated, if any of you are feeling called to move, to visit ancestral lands, to visit the sacred sites, or anywhere that really calls to you. Maybe share where that is and why you feel drawn to that place. That'd be really interesting. And I'll speak to you all again soon, perhaps with another ancestor reading. We'll see how it goes. But definitely with other readings, and also some more guided practices as well. I really enjoyed recording the last one, and I've got some very interesting ideas for the next ones. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one as well, you can do so via the link in the description box below, and I will speak to you all very soon. Much love. Bye-bye.